This episode dives deep into the darkest MLP lore through the eyes of two different Twilights. We debate, is Princess Celestia a good mentor, or a toxic manipulator? Twilight wakes up in the abandoned castle of the two sisters. A mysterious pony in a black cloak greets her from the throne. She doesn't seem hostile. She flies down, approaches Twilight, and says she can't reveal her true identity yet. Let's just call her Dusk. Dusk pulls out a crown and tells Twilight that to leave. She just needs to take it and give it to someone more worthy. Anyone but that dictator, Princess Celestia. Twilight is stunned and immediately defends her mentor. But Dusk pulls up a magical screen, totally exposing Celestia's incompetence and questionable actions. She shows how much Equestria has suffered because of her, and how Celestia constantly put Twilight's life in danger under the guise of tests and lessons. Instead of fixing things herself, Twilight is momentarily shaken, but she stands her ground, believing Celestia is a great ruler. So, Twilight challenges Dusk to a full debate. Is Celestia a hero, or a villain? Dusk drops the truth bombs. Starting from season 1, when facing a massive threat like Nightmare Moon, Celestia sent a naive unicorn and 5 random girls to fight her, instead of using the army or handling it herself. Isn't that straight up reckless? Twilight hesitates, then counters, that wouldn't have worked. It used to take tons of ponies to move the sun and moon, but Celestia and Luna do it easily. Later against Tyrek, the magic of 4 alicorns rivaled Discord and all of Equestria combined. Sending an army against Nightmare Moon would be a suicide mission. Plus, that was her sister. Celestia couldn't bring herself to destroy her. Dusk still calls Cap. Celestia had 1,000 years to prepare, yet kept it a secret. She could have warned you about the dangers to help you prepare. Twilight completely disagrees. Back then, she was a total antisocial nerd. If Celestia said make friends to save the world, Twilight would have just used friendship as a tool. She wouldn't have formed real bonds or learned the true magic of the elements of harmony. Celestia's 1,000-year master plan was exactly that, naturally guiding Twilight to the elements. Risky? Yes, but it worked flawlessly. You can't blame her for that. Dusk admits she has a point, but the roasting isn't over. Celestia has done way more messed up things, like sending them to face a dangerous adult dragon when she could have easily scared it off herself. In season 2, leaving them to fight Discord entirely alone with zero help, sending them as a test against King Sombra, literally gaslighting Twilight at the royal wedding, and her blind trust in Discord causing Tyrek's rampage. That is peak incompetence. Twilight takes a breath and debunks every single point. First, the dragon didn't want to kill them. He only got mad because Rainbow Dash literally kicked him in the face. If he wanted them dead, he'd use real fire. And Celestia can't just bully creatures with magic, or she really would be a dictator. As for Discord, yes, they struggled, but Celestia sending Twilight her old letters snapped her out of it, making their bond stronger. And the Sombra test? Twilight knew there was no real danger. Celestia and Luna defeated him before. If Twilight failed, they would just step in and nuke him again. If Celestia held her hoof through everything, Twilight would never grow up. The wedding? Yeah, it hurt, but Twilight admits her approach was terrible. She crashed a rehearsal screaming the bride was evil with zero proof. Who would believe that? Everyone just thought she was throwing a jealous tantrum over her brother. Logically, nobody should have believed her. Finally, Tyrek and Discord's betrayal? Twilight blames herself. Discord faked being sick just to get her attention, but Twilight kept treating him like a monster and dumped him entirely on Fluttershy. She failed her duty as the princess of friendship. Even Discord's chaos was more like a tough lesson than actual destruction. Dusk isn't buying this. She pulls Twilight close. That proves nothing. You're just coping with another what if. Twilight breaks free. You're doing the exact same thing. You're just assuming Celestia was malicious. Dusk yells, take control of your destiny. Stop letting Celestia puppet you. Make your own choice. Fed up, Twilight blasts the crown into dust. She declares she will always stand by Princess Celestia. Right on cue, a flash of light. Celestia and Luna step through a mirror portal. Just like Twilight said, she won't betray Celestia, and Celestia will never abandon her. Now for the big reveal. Twilight already figured out her kidnapper, knowing her deepest secrets. In a fully restored castle, it could only be an alternate universe version of herself. Caught off guard, Dusk drops her cloak, exposing gruesome scars where her alicorn wings used to be. She points her blade at Celestia, screaming that she never asked to be turned into an alicorn. She used destiny to force her into ruling a kingdom. Celestia listens to this trauma dump in silence. Then, she asks her own Twilight a heartbreaking question. Do you hate me too? For changing you without your permission? Twilight's answer? Absolutely not. Ever since she watched Celestia raise the sun, she was mesmerized. Celestia gave her everything. Becoming a princess was always her dream. She could never hate her mentor. With the ideological battle lost, Dusk snaps and decides to fight. But bro, you're facing 3 alicorns. Luna instantly pins her down. Celestia looks at this broken, wingless Twilight with deep sorrow. Everything Celestia did was because she saw Twilight's infinite potential and wanted her to shine. And she was right. With every trauma and battle, Twilight leveled up braver, smarter, stronger. Celestia knows she can't fix this AU Twilight, but she knows who can. She shoots a magical flare into the sky, then takes her Twilight back home. Moments later, as Dusk cries on the floor, a familiar shadow steps in front of her.